Hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 7th, and I'll be going over my recap for today. So today I made a total of 411, trading a total of 7 stocks. Most of them starts with an O compared to yesterday. And so I guess today's topic will be, what did I write here? Would be the fail flag. So I've been seeing a lot of trend lately where there is a fail flag, and once the flag fell, it identifies an opportunity to short. So we'll be going over that, and a few examples of that I took as well. So starting from the top here, so ONCT is my biggest winner of the day with 283. Let's go ONCT. So ONCT, you can see here, let me clear some drawings. So you can see there was a flag level here. It broke momentarily, and it had, so this flag didn't continue. So I went ahead and looked for a inverted cup and handle off this fail flag. And that's where I took the short there off of the 10, 16, 17s with my stop at 10.25 here, just above this prior high. So I went ahead and add there short, and there was also this trend line break that I saw of this, and I went ahead and added more shorts there. I'll cover a few at 10.07s. I had a few orders out at 984s, 990s, and it's good to have orders out because you can see that this wick didn't last very long. So it was like a quick wash and back up towards $10. So you can see here I had a few orders. Let's see. See, you can see there's 984s fills there with my lowest order. So it's good to have orders out in case the spread and a big wash comes through, so you can fill your orders. So that filled me there, had a little bounce back and wash back down to the hourly chart there. But that was a quick $283 win there on ONCT. Next trade is ODT. So ODT, so most of the stock I trade is gap ups or percent, pretty much high on the percentage gainers list. I usually don't trade the gap downs as often. But my next trade here is ODT. So ODT had a trade this in the morning. Also inverted cup and handle here. I took that short off the 427 with my risk off of the I think this was the 436 or so, 438s. Took the 425 break there. Kind of downsized a bit because VWAP was just right below. And I took my profits when it was hitting the 5-minute 9 EMA trend, which was the 405, 406 area. So you can see I took my last shares at 407, and it bounced right off the 9 EMA on the 5-minute trend. So as always, like I mentioned, I always know when to exit because it will most likely bounce off this trend. So I'm just shorting the 1-minute chart to a correction to the 5-minute chart. And you could continue to repeat this over and over again until you get a correction of the 5-minute chart back down to the 15-minute chart. So that was that trade for ODT, and I think it provided maybe another opportunity here, up here, but definitely I had an appointment this morning, so I didn't trade most of the morning, but I came back in the afternoon to attack some trades. But that was a ODT for $100 win there. Next trade was SEEL. So SEEL had a kind of spike in the afternoon here in the late part of the trading session. I saw this extension on the 1 minute chart. You can see lower highs, and then this was the lower high that got me interested in. So you can see lower highs. Went ahead and short that with my risk off of 585, 586 or so. And was looking for that 580 break. So it broke 580 there. My average was 2,000 shares on the 581, 580 area. And it retested the 5 minute chart at 570s. And like I mentioned, it bounced right off it. That's where my target is as well. And it's continuing to go higher. Broke this flag in the after hours. So I was also watching this for the flag break. Looks like it broke and then came back down and ended up going on the next candle. So that's SEEL. It was a quick $76 there. Next trade is PIXY. So PIXY was a 5 minute reversal to the 15-minute chart. As you can see, it was on the 5-minute chart here, which is the pink line. The 15-minute 9 EMA is this gray line, and you can see after it broke, it tested that right on the dot there and bounced off of it. So I went ahead and looked for a short there for this trendline break and also that inverted cup and handle on the 280s or so. Went ahead and took that short, covered a bit at 275. Saw it kind of hanging out on this trend line and couldn't hold. It was holding the 5-minute 9 EMA as resistance and the 1 minute as resistance. So I went ahead and add a little bit more short there, cover a little bit on this test, and I had wish I covered a little bit more. So I covered the rest when it was kind of just breaking above this 9 EMA trend on the 5-minute chart for break even. But that was a $56 win here for PIXY, and it ended up going back up after it tested the 15-minute trend here. So important to know when to stop out and take your profits. So that was PIXY. Next trade was FTCV. So FTCV is a also a extension on the 1 minute chart. So this one I had a little bit of concern because you can see I had a line here at 1350s and 1330s. So this lower high was a little bit too wide and I felt like it was a little bit extended. I went ahead and short that anyways, and it kind of popped up here and I just got stopped out just because I think this was a little bit extended. I think this little pop here would have been a confirmation, like a few more candles and then a break of that. But the longer it consolidates, the 5-minute 9 EMA will slowly catch up and the risk to reward won't be that great. And that was just a $4 win there. Why don't I short gap downs? I think because one, usually if it's gap down a lot, there's SSR on. And if there is a lot of gap down, I don't see a lot of edge to it, unless you're just playing to the next support on the daily chart. Because I think my shorting theory is looking for extensions and then shorting the extension down to the correction. Because if you already gap down, there is not an extension to the upside. It's more like it's just a sell down. I guess that's more like a trend follow. But yeah, I do much better when the stock is up and I do a correction. So next trade is OCGN. So OCGN, so this was just like right before my appointment, so I kind of just left after I took a shot at this. But there was a huge trend line here. You can see there's a huge trend line. I saw this little push up here and I thought that was the cup and handle. I went ahead to add short, add a little bit more short. It broke the trend line by a tiny bit, popped back up, and I think the better spot was to short right here off of this 793. So when this had a high there, a lower high, I mean this was a higher low, but when this higher low couldn't break this flag, that's probably a spot right there to short, risking at 804s, 802s, and then that short, and it faded all the way back to 720s or so. So that would have been the best spot there to short OCGN. But I left shortly after, just after I took this trade for a $20 loss, and that was OCGN. Next trade is ONCY. So this was an $89 loss, and I think this was yeah, this one was a little weird. I think it had like very low liquidity, and for some reason like a little bit of volume move. So I took this 452 break of 3,000 shares. I was looking to retest 445. So I was risking 2 cents to make 7 cents. So it was at least a 3 to 1, 3.5 to 1, reward to risk ratio. So I went ahead and took that. It broke momentarily there, broke below 9 EMA, and then there's like, I think it just lost an offer or something, and it just got swiped pretty quickly. You can see this like an engulfing candle, and that took me out there. My stop was at 454 there. I stopped at 455, and that was a $90 loss. And it went up a little bit more, and I think it started to fade back down, but yeah, there was some weird action there that happened, but just stopped out and yeah, continue on. So that was an $89 on ONCY. And yeah, that's all the trades I took for today, and was for a total of $411. Yeah, but yeah, this ONCY does look like you can see a head and shoulders forming. So definitely, yeah, sometimes I take a stop, I just stop watching it, but if I continue watching, this would have been a 5-minute reversal off that short here. Take the 450 break and I'll go down. But I think it was also very low volume, so it was a little difficult to trade. But yeah, total of 411, and that's all I have for today. So if you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. I try to stream every morning at 6:30, between 6:30 to 7, and stream for like an hour or two. And yeah, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.